I want to talk about a 12-year-old boy. Last week, the news broke in Sweden that a 12-year-old boy with Down syndrome was missing, which became national news. And for 3 days, the military, missing people, and thousands of people looked for him. And people traveled a long way to look for him. It was one of those moments when we all, banded together in the side of potential tragedy. And this afternoon, as we were sitting having a fika, a couple of people from work, one of my colleagues, one of my friends said that they had found the boy's glasses. And when I came home a few hours later, it was in the news that he had been found dead, which it becomes such a thing that just binds people together. I talked about a similar kind of social notion of people coming together after the attack on the streets of Stockholm last year, where a man drove a truck down a pedestrian street, and even in the side of horror, as is the case with this young boy who is not with us anymore, there is still, even though I didn't know him and a lot of people didn't know him, there is something human, there's something very beautiful in the way that we do come together when things happen, because it could have been my child, it could have been my friend, it could have been my neighbor's child. And even though these news are horrible and it has affected a lot of people during these days when he was missing, the fact that we still care, the fact that with so much hate in the world and so much division and so much horror when it comes to like a political stage and groups on the extreme outskirts of what most people consider normal, that there is still the caring of other people. And the tragedy in the whole thing, aside from these feelings being based on a tragedy itself, that this boy is no longer with us, the tragedy is that these kinds of things mostly happens and get attention when something bad happens. Imagine if we could do more in the everyday life to just make people feel better and to come together. Smile at people, letting a certain person with a lot of luggage off first from the train, not rush onto the train before everyone is off, and just little things. I know it sounds mundane and weird to say it, but everyday, positive injections. When I was in Copenhagen, my colleague there, who is from Stockholm, she said 5 people smiled to me today. And coming out of Stockholm, I'm not trying to paint Stockholm as this horrible place where no one smiles, but there is a difference between, the way people act towards each other in Stockholm and Copenhagen, because people are more, they're more free and loose down there. Sure, they have their political issues, no doubt about it, but the way that we treat our fellow man and our fellow woman and our fellow child, there is so much we can do. Even though we don't know them, there's just so much we can do to let a smile onto someone's face. I really hope that the loss of the boy last week is not just something that made people come together right then, but hopefully that, together with other tragedies and other more happy occasions, will turn us and make us more human towards each other. I really hope that, and I really I'm going to try hard myself to visualize this and to implement it in my daily routine and my daily life, to be a better person to other people. And hopefully that will mean that someone will be a good person to me on a day when I truly need it. Good talk.